everyone and welcome back. Today I have a very special video because today I'm gonna share with you my tutorial on my wedding day makeup look. So on my wedding day last June I decided to do my own makeup. It was a bit scary to be honest with you, but I didn't really have the choice because my schedule was very tight and I didn't have time to fit in a makeup artist. So I did my own makeup, I ended up loving it, and I'm gonna show you how to recreate the look today. I knew that when it came to my bridal makeup, I wanted something very fresh and very me. So because I do a winged eyeliner pretty much every single day, I knew I wanted that. I knew I wanted a fresh complexion, very glowy skin and a bit of contour. So that's what we're going to do today. And I also have a few tips and tricks for you on how to make your makeup last all day because mine was still pretty much flawless at the end of the night. So I hope that you enjoy. So I started off by applying the pore-fessional, which is a base from Benefit that really helps to diminish the size of your pores. And I apply that all over my forehead, down the eye of my nose and on my chin as well because I demolished my skin when I was a teenager and I had acne. So now, although I have dry skin, I have very large pores. So it was very important for me to work on that. After that, I applied another primer, which is from Mercier, it's the Hydrating one, because I have very dry skin and I wanted my makeup to be flawless and to stay on perfectly through the day. So I applied that all over my face. It was time to tackle the dark circles, and let me tell you that after months of planning a wedding, they're real. So I relied on my trusty Corrector from Bobbi Brown. I applied that all underneath my eyes because it really canceled the blue tones of your dark circles. And then I moved on to my favorite foundation, which is the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk. I love it because it's very natural while being very light and glowy as well. So I apply that using a beauty blender and I make sure to spend a little more time blending it everywhere. Once my foundation was done, I moved on to concealer and I used the Age Rewind from Maybelline in the brightening shade. So as you can see, I use it to highlight my face as well. I apply it underneath my eyes, obviously, but as well on my forehead, down my nose and on my chin because this really helps to define your face. Another very important step for me was powder because although I wanted to look glowy, there's nothing worse than looking shiny. So I relied on my beloved Makeup Forever HD powder, which is very light, it goes on very smoothly, but it does the job. To set my concealer in place, I used the banana powder from the Anastasia contour kit. I love this powder because it is very brightening. Now let's move to eyeshadow, and I start by applying the Urban Decay eyeshadow primer cushion all over my lids. This is just the best to make your eyeshadow very vibrant and to help it to stay in place all day long. For eyeshadow, I found myself reaching for my MAC palette. I started by using Shroom in the inner corner of my eyes. This really helps to bring a lot of light to this zone. And then I used a blending brush to use all that glitters all over my lids. I love using a blending brush because it's very soft and very natural as well. And then on another blending brush, I use Cork to define my crease. Because I wanted my eyeshadows to look very natural, I then took a clean blending brush to make sure that everything was blended nicely together. Then it was time to start the eyeliner, which is by far the most stressful thing to do on your wedding day. For my eyeliner on this special day, I choose the Stila Stay All Day Waterproof Eyeliner. This is my current favorite because it's very black and it really stays on all day. Once that was done, I moved on to eyebrows and I used my Hourglass pencil in the shade Soft Brunette. Now I want to mention that when I filmed this video, which was after the wedding, my brows were just all over the place. I actually went to Benefit the next day to get them done, so don't base your opinion on that because I swear my brows were way better on my actual wedding day. As you can tell, I did spend a little bit extra time working on my brows, just filling them in and brushing them. And then I used the Boy Brow from Glossy, which is just the best eyebrow gel that I have found. After that, I curled my lashes with my Shu Uemura colors it is just the weirdest thing to film, so I'm gonna skip that and move on to mascara. I made sure to use a waterproof one, which is just the key on your wedding day because you might cry and get a little bit emotional. So I used the waterproof Better Than Sex mascara, which is just the best one, and I added a few individual lashes from Fleur's collection. These are just amazing. I have so much control over them, and I use a pair of tweezers to apply them. Now let's go back to that contour kit that I told you about a little bit earlier. I'm gonna use the shade Fawn to define my nose, and I use a Sigma brush to do so. I just apply a darker shade on the sides of my nose as well as on the tip, and then I'm gonna move on to cheekbones using the same shade on the same brush. But then I decided that I wanted to darken that a little bit, so I used the shade Java, which is a bit too dark for me, but with a lot of blending it works. And always using the same brush, I just contour a little bit at my hairline to define the base a little bit more. And then I move on to highlight, which is one of my favorite things when it comes to makeup. I'm still using a shade from this palette. I'm using the shade Sand, which is beautiful. And then I moved on to blusher. And of course, I use my favorite blusher, which is a Tartelette from Tarte. It's very natural, which is the main keyword of this video, and I just love the effect. Then I moved on to lips, and I used the Charlotte Tilbury Lip Cheat Pencil in the shade Pillow Talk. It's a beautiful Your Lips But Better shade, and I used that all over my lips. I find that it really helps your lipstick or your lip gloss to stay on all day. A lot of you wanted to know what lip option I chose on my big day. I went for my beloved Clarins Instant Light Lip Gloss just because it's easy to reapply, you don't need a mirror, and it's just one of my all-time favorites. So that is it for my bridal makeup look. I really hope that you enjoyed, and don't forget to check my blog for more wedding photos. Bye everyone!